If I die, bury me, lay me down on a bed of roses, sink me in the river at dawn, send me away, send me
Yeah. Dean Twister die young.
So everyone, look at this weather, man. Look at it. Yeah, it's still quite chilly, but tell you what, spring definitely here now. Look at this weather. I love it. I love it when it gets like this. Why? Because I know what's coming after this. Summer, baby. Yeah, what am I talking about today? Well, obviously I'm talking about what the title says, which is my theory test. I did my theory in Cambridge. It was in this little building that it was like in between the gaps of two buildings. It was this really just tall building, and I was like, oh, is that it, sort of thing. Well, how the hell are we going to fit in there? And then all it had on the bottom floor was just two elevators, and I was like, what? And on the right hand side it had obviously the names of everything. Ooh, balloons. Oh, it's balloons. That's cool. Yeah, they had these balloons on. No, they didn't have these balloons. Let's go. Beamer. I'm getting really distracted. So they had this sign obviously saying where everything is. I had absolutely no idea where I was going. It didn't say anything about the theory or DVLA, you know, showing, you know, theory test. It had absolutely no god. So I go there, there's absolutely nothing saying like this is here or something. And I've been looking at other people's videos saying about their experience of theory tests, and mine was actually completely different. So went there, wasn't signposted, so I went up to the first floor. Looking round, all of a sudden, this little tiny 3-story building that looked about as wide as this lorry somehow turned in. It was the bloody TARDIS. It literally turned into like a year's worth of blimmin' offices, and I was just like, where the fuck am I going? I had absolutely no idea where I was going or what I was doing. I was completely lost here. Whoa. Wow. Fucking hell. Jesus Christ. That was so I just got hit by the biggest bloody gust of wind ever. So I was on the first floor, there was nothing signposted or anything. I went all the way along, and then it went sort of a left down another corridor and the left, and it went all the way around this building. Nothing, absolutely nothing. It wasn't signposted. There was nothing saying this is here or to do this, go here. There was nothing. It was like they expected you to know. And I was just like, where the fuck am I going? But there was absolutely nothing. Nothing online, like nothing inside the bloody building, just absolutely nothing. And I was just like, where the fuck am I going? I started to track back and come back to the stairs. Having another look, still absolutely nothing, and I was sort of getting to the point where I was nervous enough as it is, because it's the blimmin' first ever go on a theory test. And just on top of the stairs, there was this guy there. I said, excuse me mate, do you know where the stuff is for the theory tests? And he just goes, no sir, do you work here? And I was just like, if I just asked you for directions, do you think at all I work here? Like, no. I was just like, well, you're an idiot. And then, so I was just like, well, no. And he goes, oh, okay. Grabs a load of blooming bin bags, I'm assuming they've got mail inside them, and just starts chucking them down the stairs and runs away. And I literally mean run, like he was in a hurry. You know, he just grabbed them and ran, and I was just like, okie dokie then. That happened. I then went up to the second floor. Look at that motherfucker. He ain't leaving no room. So yeah, I went up to the second floor, looked on the board again, and you know, it's got on top of the stairs like a board saying what's on this floor. Still nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was just like, this is actually a joke. I genuinely did not have a flipping clue where I was going. For God's sake, now time's starting to not be on my side. You know, I'm starting to set into a bit of panic, really. So I was starting to set into a little bit of panic. This tiny room, right on the end, a little piece of paper on the front of it, saying DVL Edge, fucking pothole, DVL Edge, DVL Edge driving theory, like, well, it's just a DVLA, just had the logo, it didn't actually say theory. This guy came out. I said, excuse me, is this where they're doing the theory test? He goes, yeah, are you doing it for this, or this? I had absolutely no idea what he said. So I just went, I don't know, mate. He just, because he said like these random letters and numbers, and I was just like, what the fuck? So after he said that, I knocked on the door, and then he turned around and went, just go in. I was like, oh, okay. So I walked in, and all of a sudden, this bloody massive room, and I was just like, oh fuck. So I went in, and this woman all of a sudden just looked straight at me and went, hello, are you here for the 12:30? And I was just like, yeah? Because oh wow, that just fogged up my visor. And well, I thought I was there for the 12 o'clock, and it says you have to be there 15 minutes before. So he wanted me to be there at 11:45, so I got there at half 11, and then she went, are you here for the 12:30? And I was just like, yeah, because I didn't know what was going on. And she went, okay, well, we're just about to close for lunch, so if you want to go and wait outside and come back in about 45 minutes at about 12:15. And I was just like, okay, thank you. I had no idea what was going on. And then I walked away and was just like, shit. So what am I going to do for an hour? I decided to walk around Cambridge. Just literally, that was it. I just walked around Cambridge. Like, I went in JJB, went to Sports Direct, went in Game, went in Holland & Barrett, had a look at that protein, went in Ann Summers, looked at that sexy stuff. I'm just kidding. Yeah, the time came for me to go back, so I went back. I finally knew where I was going. I was not lost anymore. You know, I was kind of expecting to go in there and have like a main reception, and then I'd say I'm here, and they'd direct me, and then I'd go up and say I'm here, and then wait outside, and then go, sort of thing. No, it was literally go in, find your own bloody way around. If you can't find it, it's your fault, piss off. I was just like, okay. I went there, went back. I knew what I was doing this time. Why the hell are you breaking? Yep, so I went back. I knew what I was doing this time. So I went there, head up high, got there really early. I got there about, I think I went back at about 12, so I got there at about 10 past 12, something like that. I got there and I did one final theory test on my phone. This lady then turned up and she's like, oh, very funny joke, man. And then, like, literally she walked in saying that. Like, I'm not taking the mic, she genuinely walked in like laughing and everything. They were having a good time. And then this woman was walking with her and she was talking with her, and then she got to the door and went, are you waiting here for the theory test? And she went, yeah. And she went, okay, well, you got to go to the back of the line then. And I was just like, wait. So we went in, and I was the first one to be called. Had to give over your your license, so the paper and the card as well. And then she asked me to turn out my pockets, which I did. And she told, which I knew about it, it's so strict, you have to have literally nothing in your pockets or anything. The only thing you're allowed, and everything else is to be put away in a locker, the only thing you're allowed is your driver's license. I went down this little corridor and there was this woman just sitting there behind a glass window, staring at me. I was like, hello. It gave me back and went, okay, you're on computer 2. I was just like, thank you. And then walked in the door, and you're in this blue room, quite big actually. It had probably about 20 something computers in it. It was quite big. And I go there and I sit down computer 2, and everything's blue, the wall is blue, floor is blue, ceiling's grey, and you're in this little blue booth. So you can't see left or right of you. And then on the back it's got a little notice saying you are being monitored, stuff like that. And obviously they have to monitor you in case you're cheating, you know, blah blah blah. That's, you know, expected really. The thought that I knew I was being watched, it was just like, ugh. It's such a cringe-worthy feeling, knowing that someone's watching you, just staring right at you, and you can't do a thing about it. It's horrible. Some of the videos that I'd seen, they'd said they're like these computers that are from the 90s. My one wasn't. I was expecting these like well-old computers that are like really, you know, like the classic, proper classic ones, where the backs come out really far and they're all grey and everything. You know I'm on about the proper old school ones. I was expecting one of them, and then I got there, it's this blimmin' like widescreen monitor, and I was just like, fuck yeah, this is better than the one I've got at home. And then I was in, I sat through it, did the theory, that was fine. Hazard perception, that was just fine. But when I first started it, because obviously all the practice ones, they're all like real life clips, and then when I did this one, it was, I was like tripping. Like, it was animated, but it was so close to reality. Like, I couldn't tell if it was animated or not, and I was like, what? Until obviously one thing happens that proved it was an animation, because people would have died in it, and I passed it first try. Woohoo. You know, not trying. Right, now, if anyone thinks I'm saying that and being cocky, saying, oh, I passed it first try, you passed it on like your 10th attempt. No, what I'm saying is, if I can pass it on my first try, you can pass it on your first try. You know, so easy. And there is a link in the description if you're about to sit through your theory test. Then I wish you the best of luck. I'm not putting your hopes up too much, but it's not actually that hard. I'm just saying. It was a lot easier than I was expecting it to be. Yeah, now this website I used, I'll put in the description, and it's got different levels of the test. Now the reason I say it was easier than I thought is because I went through every single one. Like, I did not want to do it a second time, so I absolutely hammered it out. Now revision wise, I did a little bit from 3 weeks out, did a little bit more 2 weeks out, and then 1 week away from it, I absolutely smashed it out every night, every single night. And I only used this website. No joke. Actually no, I lied. I used that website, and I used a different website which had the hazard perceptions on. Okay? Those are the only 2 websites I used. And I was quite surprised at that, actually. Because there was like hardly anything on signs. There was also, I got 3 questions wrong in my test. And there was also 3 questions that I hadn't seen on this website that I've been using for practice. So there you go, guys. The link will be in the description below if you're about to do it, or if you just want the practice or anything like that. If you're about to do your theory test soon, wish you the best of luck. Hope it goes all well for you. And yeah, I passed it first try, so can you. Alright? Morning. You alright? Where the fuck did you come from? Oh yeah, you go the other way, don't you? Yeah. Go on then, you go first. The fuck? I was like, God damn, where the fuck he go from? And I was just like, where the fuck am I going?
All else fails, we will build it once again.